Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
My name is David Carter. I'm a retired chef. Been living here at Turkey Woods since November last year. And I've written 2 cookbooks. So I decided I know we all have to do retreats every now and then from the company that owns this place where they'll put on something and the tenants put on something. I said, well, why don't I put on something? So I'm cooking a recipe out of my second book. What we're going to have today is a 4-pepper sausage I buy at Kroger, mini sweet onions, and mini sweet peppers, a can of diced tomatoes, and some tomato sauce. We'll serve it over rice. It's a pretty simple, easy little dish. I got this pan starting to heat up now, and for the sake of the fact that I'm going to just cook this one like I would cook it at home upstairs, I already have some cooked in the back, so we'll serve it here in a minute. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil or oil, and just like I would at home, I'm measuring, of course. I took the time to go ahead and pre-cut all the ingredients so that it's just easy to put together. Even at home, I do this because I get all the peppers cut, I get all the onions cut, and then I cut the sausage at the last minute because at this point, this is all cooking, everything's coming together, and then I throw the sausage in last so it can just kind of simmer and we're ready to eat. So we're doing the same basic principle here. I do not cook with salt. My wife doesn't like salt. The recipes say salt to taste or pepper to taste. That's up to you. I found that recipes are just a guide to help you put together a meal the way you want. In other words, if you like more garlic or more of this, put more in. The recipe is just a guide that you need to put some in to say get the total flavor that you want. This is toned down from what we normally cook because the diced tomatoes I normally use have some jalapeno peppers in it. I didn't do that to you guys today. Did not do that to you today. The hottest thing in there is just the peppers that you'll find in the sausage. It's still got a little spicy taste to it, but not too bad. Looks like the oil's just about ready. And just like on Rachel Ray, I'm adding all the good stuff.
So where have you worked as a chef at, David?
Way back when, I worked at the Airport Hotel out by the airport, for those who might remember it. I was a chef de partie in the Market restaurant, so I served all the fine dining type food. Holiday Inns, 4 Point Sheraton Hotel, executive chef at the Convention Center downtown Cincinnati, Ohio for a year and a half. That was fun. Served about 5,000 people over the course of a weekend, so it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was great event. Had a lot of fun. Been a food and beverage director at the 4 Point Sheraton. Worked at the Indianapolis Athletic Club downtown back when it was open. Worked the 500 room, so we had the special requests from all the guests, that type of thing. Now, at home, I just measure the same teaspoon that I would here. And I just look in the pan and see how much I got going. That's pretty much how I cook at home. For the sake of the recipe book, I put 1 teaspoon of each. I let the onions cook down so they start to get a little translucent or a little clearer looking. This is one of my wife's favorite dishes. So I've modified it several different times for her, but this is still the basic dish. Okay, once they've cooked down some, then I'll go ahead and start adding the peppers. These are all cut in julienne kind of thin. We'll leave that one out. And I probably got too many prepared for today, but I'm going to put in at least 3 of these. Just because I cut them up.
That smells so good, huh? That smells good, yeah.
That works, I'm glad.
Well, tell us a little bit about your recipes, David, that are in your book.
The recipes are pretty much, a lot of recipes I found, and then I remodified them so that my wife and I can enjoy them. I don't call any of those recipes mine, they're just remodified so that you can cook these at home. A lot of times we find a recipe that might have been at a restaurant. Well, I go back and find that same recipe and fix it so that you can cook at home. In the first book, I put together a lemon pepper chicken for 4, and some people, oh wow, that's really great. Okay. Then I created a couple dishes in there. This is one of them. I'm not sure what made me think about it, but I saw a recipe that was...
What kind of peppers did you put in there?
They're little mini sweet peppers, if you find like a Kroger. They're about yay big, and they come in a pack. They got red, yellow, orange in the same
Like
pack.
a bell pepper or a sweet pepper?
Yeah, and they're small. They're the mini kind.
Okay.
I cut them in strips for today because I like the strips. Sometimes when I want to vary the look on the recipe, then I'll get the seeds all out because all the seeds are out, so I don't have to worry about that. And get that little white stuff in there. I forget what it's called right now, but get that out. And then I may cut them in circles to match the sausage.
Appearance. Appearance
Yes,
or looks?
it's just for looks.
Yeah.
The taste doesn't change,
Yeah.
nothing else changes. And with the lid on this, it helps it steam and cook a little bit further and a little faster. I'm working on a third cookbook, which will have an international theme. I'm looking at all the different recipes from Thailand, Jamaica, you name it, and trying to find some recipes that I can redo for us to be able to cook at home. I've got a couple friends on Facebook from Nigeria that are sending me pictures of stuff, and then I got to find out what the stuff is. And it's some kind of grain. I'm not sure where to find them here in Indianapolis, but there's a market out on Lafayette Road, Saratoga, I think it's called. They may have some of these grains, but otherwise, that's what I'll be doing in the third book. I've also put some larger recipes in there for larger cooking. Okay. We're going to add the diced tomatoes next.
Oh, there you go.
Aldi.
I know I'm getting hungry.
I'm getting ready to finish cutting the sausages just so that I can show you how I normally cut them. I cut one upstairs already. But this is what it looks like when you find it in the stores. 2 of them in a pack. And for this recipe, I used the 1 pack. It's a 1 pound package. And it'll serve roughly 4 or 5 people. I have a sister-in-law that likes it. And I just cut small circles. Looks like a coin. In the recipe, I say try to cut in coin shapes. You can make them thick or thin. The sausage is already cooked. So all we're going to do is get it in the pot and get it hot, and then it'll be ready to eat. We use a bag-in-a-bag, microwave bag type thing, rice when we cook it at home. It's microwavable, or we just put it in a pot. And yes, I've been cutting these for so long, they almost look the same size all the time. I can't help myself. Yes, sir.
Is the sausage a matter of taste, whether it be mild or spiced or kielbasa,
It
possibly,
could-
or?
It can be any sausage you like.
Okay, smoked
Definitely.
sausage is something.
It's any smoked sausage.
Okay.
I prefer this one because I like the flavors of the spice that comes off of the peppers. But it can be a turkey sausage. We've used turkey smoked sausage in there. It can be any kind of sausage you want. It could be the kielbasa.
Yeah.
If you use the kielbasa, you might want to spice up your other parts of your dish with a little cumin or something like that. Maybe a Jamaican jerk or something, just to add a little bit, paprika to add a little bit of flavor to it and spice to it. Again, a recipe in any book to me should be a guide on how to say put something together. Then I just adjust it to what I think I might like to eat. If for some reason it doesn't work out,
You can change the recipe, some recipe for the chicken or shrimp.
That's what he
Yes.
said. That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah.
you could probably use, I haven't tried chicken, but you could probably use diced chicken. If you like pork, you could probably dice some pork to have smaller pieces. Because basically I'm looking for is something bite-sized. We're going to add the sausage. I just add it all. Get it all stirred up together in here. And when that's starting to heat up and cook, then we'll go ahead and add the tomato sauce.
Like a short.
Try to tilt the pan up just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's good, huh?
Okay, we just let that sit,
Yeah.
and we can go for now the gusto because I'm going to plate you up some. Yes, ma'am?
Are most of your dishes just one hot cookie?
No. Okay. I have a lot of, in the second book, I have a lot of variety of recipes. I have some vegan, I have some gluten-free recipes, about 21 gluten-free recipes, a lot of seafood recipes, just straight up beef recipes, chicken, seafood. It ranges anywhere from a lot of work, but not too complicated of work.
For people that don't like to cook, what's your suggestion?
For people that don't like to cook, believe it or not, I got a slow cooker back here. In the slow, if you wanted to do this in a slow cooker, or a lot of these dishes in a slow cooker, you get all the ingredients in there, all of them, just put them all in together. Put the lid on it, put your seasoning on top, whatever you want to put on there, put the lid on there, and let it just simmer away for a couple hours. About 2 hours in, take a taste and see what it tastes like, see if it's about the way you want. If it is, do your rice in the microwave or do it in a small pot, whatever, and you're still ready to go, but it can all be done in one pot that way, yes. Some of the other dishes in there, not quite, but for these, the ones we're talking about right now, yes. There's a recipe in the book for a sausage apple dressing. And I put that together and then put it with some baked chicken thighs I think it was, and it turned out really great. The recipe was so nice when I finally modified it and took some of the sage out of it and just let the juices from the apple take it over. That's the way it worked. I enjoy flavor profiles. If I can make a dish that's got a nice flavor to it, great. If you like salt and pepper on yours, go ahead and add it. That's up to you. But I prefer not to have that excess sodium for me. It's just for me. When we do use salt on something, I use sea salt. I have not tried some of the other little salts yet, but I've seen some pink sea salt, some other sea salts that I might try. One quick thing, I'm a SCORE mentor, and a lot of the people that I'm mentoring are starting up a restaurant. And with 35 years plus experience and having worked in just about every position in a restaurant, including dishwasher, that's where I started, then I have an idea of what they may be looking at and why they may be looking at. As I grew in the business and became more of the manager that I needed to be to say run a business, then I learned about the food costs, the projections. Why restaurants go out of business is because they don't meet their numbers. It's all about a numbers game. Sorry to say, if the chef is not making his numbers, you'll see a new chef in a couple of years or less. The unknown chef is because every chef in the city has somebody working in the kitchen doing most of the work. When the credit goes out, that chef is standing out there, oh yes, and then we got Chef David here, yay! Then it's got Chef Carl over here that's looking like, yeah, he gave me the idea, but I did all the work. But the chef is training him to be a chef. So every chef needs to find somebody they can work with to say, become a chef, and you pass that knowledge on.